So this is me, an aspiring trader that decided to document his whole process of trying to get 100k funding with FTMO. I spent 7 months trying to pass this account. I doubted myself, nearly quit, but I recorded everything, the wins, the losses, and the real emotions you'll face going through this journey. After months of setback, come on this roller coaster ride with me, and if you're struggling to pass a challenge, this should be real, honest, inspiring, and an account that I've not seen anywhere else on social media. So let's take you back to October 27th, where I decided to buy the account. Obviously, these are the options with FTMO: 140k, 70k, 35 or 20,000 pounds. But I'll probably go to US dollars. So I think it works out to either be 100,000 US dollars. So yeah, I'm a bit torn on which one to get at the minute. So planning and preparation is going to be key for this week. So I've just done my watch list. Pullback moves are looking quite nice for this week if we get entries. We've got a few on watch. And as I mentioned before, I'm only going to be taking high probability setups, A+ setup. The hardest part I'm finding, I'm not sure if you guys feel the same, I might have mentioned this before, is the ability to be patient and sit on your hands, because I want to be in trades. I want to be taking trades. When I've just bought this 100k account and I want to be documenting it and showing it, I want to be entering positions, and sometimes it's so important to sit on your hands. But again, I find it difficult. I think all I've got to do, like I said, stick with my plan, focus on the process, not the outcome. Morning guys, welcome back to day 11. There's a big opportunity today, so if I execute that position, it's likely that we will. I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, just entered short on New Zealand dollar Swiss. Now guys, this is the first position on the account. Initially sell off, but we're now pulling back in slight bit of drawdown. Okay guys, a couple of hours later, we did reject that high. I'll show you in a minute, and now we're starting to sell off. So again, got to maintain psychologically, it's still open risk on the table. Yes, it's selling off now into our direction, but we've got to be careful and make sure that we're managing the position and not making any rash decisions. Obviously, it's the first trade on the account. You do want to get a win, but you can't always know the probability of when the wins and losses are going to occur. You can have a sequence of winners or sequence of losses. All I know is if I take my plan and execute over time, I have an edge, so I should be up. Okay guys, we're approaching 1% profit mark. So usually with positions like this, when it gets to 1% running profit, I move my stops to break even. Now at that low, we haven't broke that low yet. We could reject that low, and that was the concern when entering the position. That was the major risk. So I've got to see whether the price breaks that low, but because we're approaching that low and we're around 1%, what I'm going to do is move my stop to break even. So stops are break even, as I mentioned. We're now breaking that low. We got an hourly close below the low. Well, we're waiting on the hourly close below the low. The current hourly candle is sat below that low. We need to wait for that to break and close below. That gives us more confidence that we made a new low in the market. So we could pull back after that, making a new low, then lower high. But at the minute, we just got to wait for that close. Hey guys, just been to the sauna and gym. So now what I'm doing, I'll update you on the position. I've just got home. I was partly out while managing this position. I took my laptop with me. We've broken close below this low. It's currently 20 to 6. We broke below the low. We're running just about 1.5%. Now, the management on this position is going to be a bit more difficult because we could pull back and get stopped out for break even. That's the risk. Still not profit. It's only profit when you've closed the trade and you're out. At the minute, it's rolling 1.5%. We are likely to have some kind of pullback. Now, I'm expecting the pullback to come to around here and this 1 hour 50 to be moved down by the time we come up to here and reject, and then look for the continuation if this trend is going to continue. We've got the double top, lower high, lower low. So I'm expecting if this trend is going to continue to reject somewhere here, and I could look to add a position and then look for the lower high, another lower low, and this trend to continue in the bearish direction, which is what we planned, what we're predicting. But equally, like I mentioned, it could come up and stop us out for break even, but we manage risk, and that's my plan. That's my management plan. As you guys would have seen, for the first 10 days, we didn't take any positions on this 100k account. Now, if this does play out, it's still not guaranteed, and I'm not expecting or having any expectation that it will or won't. There's no emotion to it. But if it does, these are the trades that can pay you for the month. I've been patient for like 10 days. We've now took a position. It's going okay. And we'll see. We'll have to update you tomorrow. I'll show you what we're running at on the trade at the minute, and then stay tuned for tomorrow because, again, it's going to be interesting tomorrow. Are we going to be at break even, or are we going to continue the sell off? Hopefully we continue the sell off because this is looking like a nice trade if it does continue. But again, we don't know. We're in a position live, so I'll show you guys the update. It's likely to happen now. is during London Open, we're going to pull back. You can see the moving averages move down now. And we're going to continue making a lower high and then continue the sell-off. Or we could end up getting stopped out. So guys, we're still pulling back, waiting to see if we get the bearish momentum for continuation. But yeah, we're pulling back to the pivot, 1 hour 50, 4 hour 50. As you can see, the pullback in play, guys. Guys, I will be looking to add a position to New Zealand dollar Swiss if we reject and get my second entry criteria. So guys, we could be looking for a second entry on this. The first entry yesterday, which you guys would have seen, broke down, confirmed the new low. We're now pulling back to the pivot, which I like. The daily is nice, and then we'll be looking for the continuation, a breakdown past the pivot like we did yesterday. As you can see, we got to the pivot yesterday, broke down, the entry was here or here. We'll be looking for the same sort of price action for price to stall and break down. Look to be rejecting. Again, we've got to wait for the hourly close or a breakdown on the 5 minute. Okay guys, look like we could be about to break down, so I'm ready to execute if it presents. Okay guys, just entered short. On this position, you can see upon this breakdown here, I've moved the stop to this one down to where this stop loss is. So this is locked in about 0.3%, so not much. And then this one's got 1%. So I've effectively got about 0.8% at risk. It could fail, we could lose and end up actually losing on this position. But it's a good entry, perfect for my criteria. See, bit of bearish momentum. Will this continue? I'm not sure, but it's looking nice. Hey guys, I just want to update you. I just made a huge mistake. Let me explain. Okay guys, very frustrating what's happened. It is my responsibility. I do take full responsibility, but it's very unfortunate. As you guys would have known, when I'm holding trades overnight, you've got to be extremely careful of the spread, especially on a pair like New Zealand dollar Swiss, and I was aware of that. Yesterday, it got to about 9:45 and I thought, okay, shall I move my stop a bit further away again just to prevent it being stopped out with the spreads again? I mean, it was nowhere near my stop loss. I was running in profit, as you guys would have seen. And I thought, okay, we're 22 pips away. I think it was 22 or 25 pips away from my stop. So I thought, we're not that close to my stop. I didn't realize how big the spreads were. And it ended up stopping me out. So it's extremely frustrating because, again, if I lost the trade because of the direction was wrong or it was a poor setup, then again, that's my responsibility. Although it is my responsibility to be aware that when the market shuts and reopens, you've got to be careful of these spreads. But I didn't expect having a 22, 25 pips away from where the current price was. I didn't expect it to be as large as what it was. So it's a stupid error and a mistake, and now I'm been stopped out of that position. So I think now we're down 1% on the account. So guys, you can see the account. The reason why this is 1.05% is because of the commissions and swaps. The actual position was, as you would have heard, was about 0.8% risk for 8%. It was a lovely setup of a position if it did play out. But with the spreads and everything, we're down 1%. Not how we'd want to start, but again, we can take positives from the trade's direction and entry was good. It was just a stupid error on my behalf. Today, there's 2 setups that I am looking at. So, looking to be rejecting my areas of confluence, which you would have seen me say earlier. If we break above this high, break and close on the 5 minute above the high, which hopefully we do, I'll then execute a long. Just entered long. As you would have seen, it's broke above the high, so we've entered upon the break of the high. So just entered short on the breakdown on US dollar Japanese yen. Quick update on those positions, guys. As you can see, it's 10:20, markets reopened. We haven't had any issues with the spreads this time. I moved my stops far away. US dollar Japanese yen running just a slight bit of profit. AUD CAD again running quite nicely. I've moved my stops to 0.5% because we broke the high. I do expect some kind of pullback because we made a new high. Pullback during Asia. Okay guys, US dollar Japanese yen selling off massively. I'm not sure if there's a big news release that's come out. I'll double check that. London's just opened 42 minutes ago, but we're selling off nicely, so that's okay. I've also just moved my stops to break even on AUD CAD because we hit the 1% mark. AUD CAD, as you know, we're break even, so risk is managed in this position. We pull back a little bit, slightly going against us. We're still in profit, but it's pulling back. So if we get some bullish momentum, made a higher high. If we make a higher low here, that would be nice. AUD CAD has pulled back, so this could be a break even, which is why we manage risk. But yeah, we can't really make any rash decisions because we have to allow our management plan to play out. So with AUD we've just been tagged out for break even. That's part of my management plan, is to prevent risk and manage risk. Okay guys, update on US dollar Japanese yen. Close to profit target, we broke the low. So I'll be managing this quite aggressively as we are relatively close to the target. I'll keep you updated if or when we hit the target. So we're in a slight bit of profit. New Zealand dollar's running nicely at the minute now. Still full risk on the table, but we're breaking the high. So if we get the continuation, that'll look good for tomorrow. So when we look at the dashboard, you can see that break even, that was the spreads trade on the 14th, which stopped us out, which was frustrating because of spreads. And then we've got the break even, that's just commissions and spread. Very, very busy day yesterday and some stuff to manage today. As you guys would have seen in yesterday's video, it would have been in US dollar Japanese yen and New Zealand dollar US dollar. I forgot to show you, so I apologize for that. I'll show you that today. Both of the trades aren't looking great. So US dollar Japanese yen, I was tagged out for break even on this position at around 1 a.m. during Asia. It did end up hitting, it would have hit full stop loss, so that's why I manage it there. I've got to do some reflecting because you can't be given back that much profit. I managed to move my stops to 0.8% on New Zealand dollar US dollar, but it's looking like we're getting close to being stopped out. So again, I'm going to have to review these positions. Okay, I've just been tagged out for 0.8% on New Zealand dollar US dollar. Bit of a frustrating week so far because we've ended up now down 1.8% on the funded account. And if you look at the the positions I've shown you this week, as I mentioned, they were all running. One was at 1.7%, another one was at 1.5%. But because I pushed my target too far, they either ended up reversing me and stopping me out for break even, like you would have saw in US dollar, Japanese yen, and Australian dollar CAD. So I need to do massive reflection moving forward because it's not just about identifying the bias and then identifying when and how you're entering, because that seems to be okay this week. The direction's been correct. It's been moving nicely. I even need to change my management style, take partials, or I think the main issue is taking profit earlier, not pushing it too far. This is why I'm documenting it in front of everyone. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to reflect to see if they were mistakes or whether it is just part of probability in terms of the sequence of the management style. I mean, a lot of the times these could have carried on straight to target and I'd be sat here saying I made 2% on that one, 2% on that one. Definitely a lot for me to work on. And that's the cool thing about this channel. We can look back in another 6 months and be like, okay, look at the massive amount of improvement, and hopefully that can be inspirational to lots of you guys who are on the same path as me. So guys, not what we want to be seeing, negative 1.95%. So there's not going to be many more trades for the rest of today. But yeah, bit of a frustrating week, but there's a lot of positives we can take so far. It's only Wednesday. We have 2 more trading days. Hopefully we can take some good trades and be up on the account. A lot of people have been saying you don't have an edge. I don't have an edge. The reason why I would disagree is because I have the data. I backtested every single currency pair, every single entry model, and every single setup. And we do have an edge. We have the win rate and we have average expected risk reward. And I'm aware that you can still take losses. I know my average drawdown. But to say I don't have an edge, I would have to disagree because, yes, I'm not performing and executing as well as what I could. I only really agree if over a long period of time I'm blowing accounts or I'm losing all the time and I'm making errors. But even then, a lot of it isn't the strategy. People think it's the strategy all the time. A lot of the time it's you become the edge outside of your strategy. That's why people in a community learn a strategy, but there's such a variety of different results each month because most of the time people are taking bad setups or missing trades, and that's what's affecting their results. So it's not actually just the strategy all the time. But we've got to keep progressing. I'm documenting on here and I'll keep you updated on how everything goes. We have a fantastic opportunity today on pound CAD. Entry is looking really, really likely. So if we get that, I'm sure we will. I'll show you. Okay, so we are selling off extremely early into the position. Have to make sure that my emotions are still in check. I mean, it's very early. Yes, it's going in our direction, but anything can happen. It's probability. Nothing's guaranteed. That's one lesson that I learned early on where I assumed when I first started that when I enter a position and it's perfect, that it's just going to play out. It's a probability game. A perfect setup can still lose. If you have a 60% win rate, 40% of your trades can still lose even though you did everything correct. So hold tight. We've got to make sure that we keep our emotions in check, manage the plan, and that's all we can do. Okay, so we've pulled back. So this is where your emotions have to stay in check because we were running nicely. You broke the low. Nothing's guaranteed. It's all a probability game. And now we just got to wait and see. You might feel the emotions, but you have to make sure you're acting in a non-emotional way, a logical way. Guys, if you're getting value from this content, you're enjoying the transparency and the honesty, make sure you do like, comment, and subscribe. By subscribing, it's going to help this video get out to more people and we can show a real, honest, transparent journey, which is needed in this space. The hourly candle's closed. It's not looking bad. It's not looking great. Anything can happen. It could just sell off or it could just hit stop loss. It's still very early into the trade. Just trying to keep everything in check, not get too euphoric if you're in profit, not get too disheartened if it's a negative. I've got my stop in a place for a reason. Okay guys, it popped to the upside. Obviously not looking good now. Chances are we will get stopped out. You know, long December, first trade of the month, negative 1% down. Let's see how the rest of the week plays out. Am I frustrated? No. I'll review the position. I'll reflect on it, but I was happy at the time. I'm still happy now. Can't control the outcome. You can only control the process. If this was to go on and make 3-4% and I didn't take it, would I be frustrated then? I'd be more frustrated then. Losses are unavoidable in this business. You can't try and seek for 100% strike rate. All I have to identify was it a trade that was part of my plan? And if it was, which I'm assuming it is, I mean, from reflection, I'm still happy with the position. That's all I can do. Early month, early days, can't be too disheartened by it at the end of the day. They're unavoidable. That's all we can do. So currently down around 2% on the funded account. We have a beautiful opportunity on pound CAD short. So if we get an opportunity to enter, I'll break everything down. Hey guys, just entered short on pound CAD. Just broke down, as you can see, making a new low. Lower low. Rejecting this area, lower high at the pivot as well. So looking for the continuation to the downside. It's been stopped out for 1% on that position. Quite a frustrating position. I'll break it down in a minute. I mean, it wasn't really frustrating. It was a perfect setup for my system, for my style. I want to break down the Euro CAD position that I just took. Obviously a bit unfortunate. Stopped out and then it did continue into our direction. The DDP was correct, but we got stopped out. That can happen sometimes. So yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously we would have liked the win. We're down on the account, the funding account at the minute. There's still a lot for me to work on and to improve. People could be saying, well, change your strategy. Your strategy doesn't work. It doesn't have an edge. People in the community last month made 5, 6, 7%, trading the exact same style as me. So I have to work out, why am I not performing? So the thing is, it's not, the strategy does work. And you'll find this with lots of communities and lots of strategies. What I would have done a couple of years ago or 1 year ago is I would have looked to change. Oh, the last couple of months have been break even or a little bit negative, or it's not been active. And I would have looked to change. Where's the next best strategy? Why can't I, I need to change this, I need to change that. But what I've learned for the last sort of 3-4 months is just sticking with this. I mean, mastering this, learning better DDPs, learning better entries, reading the markets better, but staying with the same entry model, the same DDPs, daily directional predictions, the same bias. Because if you change a lot of things, you're going to be starting at square one again. Yes, there's better strategies for certain individuals, for your personality, for your lifestyle. But this works for, I've seen it firsthand that it works. It's just I'm not making it work. Look at the trades we took this month. So we're down 2% for this month so far. But it's not a problem because if I'm having an average risk reward of 1.5 or 2 to 1, if I have 1 or 2 more trades that give me 2%, and that's 4% on 2 positions, you're now up 2%. So your month can change quite quick, so you can't let this affect you. I'll show you the FTMO dashboard now, how the account's looking. Obviously, negative 4%, not ideal. We haven't took a winner yet, which is good and bad. So in the sense that it's not like I've had loads of winners and I'm still down. The moment the winners come and the edge plays out in our favour and we start taking winning positions, because the winners will tend to be 2 to 1, we can change that very quickly, and we've got unlimited time limit. All this time, so long as I manage my risk and I don't blow this account, I can keep improving, keep learning, and I can turn this around. And I do 100% wholeheartedly believe I will turn this around, especially going into 2025. It's withstanding these periods, and then the moment I have 2 or 3 winners in a row, this percentage will look completely different because the winners will be double or triple what the losers are. And if you have 2 or 3 of them in a row, you could be down 4% to up 3%. It's the start of 2025, first week of 2025. So let's go. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how it goes. Next week is going to be where we're back to business. Obviously, I'm preparing all this week and have been preparing for a couple of weeks during the Christmas and New Year period to get ready to get trading back in the markets. But I'm slightly ill at the minute, so it's not great. So I'm just using this time to recover as best as I can, mentally and physically. It's frustrating. I've done all the preparation before, you know, no drinking alcohol, staying fit, doing everything I can 2 weeks before. You know, I think it was about mid-December. So all of Christmas, all of New Year, locked in, focused. I literally get to the 1st of January and yeah, get hit like a train with this cold/flu. So it's one of those things. Luckily, next week is going to be the busier week. I want to talk about, and so I can reflect back on this video, my exact goals for this year. What do I want to achieve and what do I want to have accomplished by the time it gets to 2026? So number one, obviously I want to be funded and I want to document it on this channel. So I want to get at least 6-figure funded relatively early in the start of the year. Obviously I don't know exactly when, but I want to get funded. Next goal is to document everything on this channel. I want to document all the highs, all the lows, as I've been doing for the last year and a bit. I love this channel. I love the community that we're building. I appreciate each and every single one of you that watches all the videos, likes, comments, subscribes. And I would love to hit 10k subscribers by the time we get to next year. If we can surpass that, that would be incredible. But the goal would be to hit 10k subs, which would be incredible if I could do that. And then anything else that comes along, just have the mental control. Build my mind, keep my mind strong. Good or bad things that happen, keep neutral. Go through a losing streak, you remain neutral. If you're in a winning streak, remain neutral. Focus on the process, not the outcome. And that's all I'm going to try to do. It's the first week back live trading after the break, the New Year's break and the Christmas break. Fantastic opportunities looking to occur today. So looking for potential longs today on Australian dollar CAD. I'll break it down in further detail. If we get a break above the 5-minute 50, we're rejecting the 1-hour 50, 4-hour 50, and the pivot. So yeah, if we get a rejection, I'll be looking for a quick pullback move on this pair. Okay guys, we've just entered long on Australian dollar CAD. I'll keep you guys updated on this position. First trade of the year. Can't be focused on the outcome of this trade. Was it part of my plan? Yes. So whether it wins, loses, it's the number one trade of the year. Okay, so it's running quite nicely. Just about to hit 1%. At 1%, I'll move my stops to break even. So update on this position that I took earlier. As you can see on the 1 hour, we came to our key confluence level, the 0.382. We ended up hitting the soft target. It was a good job we did because it ended up hitting for 1.58% and then it would have stopped us out. So we managed to bank 1.5%, 1.58% profit on this position. A lot of people try to put great emphasis on their first trade of the year. How's the start of their year going? Is the first trade going to be a winner? It doesn't matter what period of time I'm in. I know what's a good trade for my strategy. I know what trades to take. I know my risk management. I know my management model and my entry model. I know I'm going to, throughout this month, next month, and the following months, I'm going to have a good sequence of positive outcomes. I'm going to have good risk-reward trades. I'm going to have winning streaks. I'm also going to have losing streaks. And you have to treat a win and a loss pretty much equal. The outcome of this winning position, this 1.5% trade on AUD CAD, doesn't really affect me. It's just numbers on the screen. Did I have the correct process, good routine and good structure to allow myself to execute the plan? And in this case, the sequence of probabilities was a positive. It played out. Rather than looking at the singular individual outcome of a position and determining my happiness based on, oh, I won today or I lost today, you're going to lose consistently. Mentally, you're going to be drained if you're chasing that. Did I follow my process correctly? Did I enter my plan? And despite the outcome, was it a good trade? Yes or no? And that's how I manage it. So guys, you can see the dashboard on here, the 1.5%, just under 1.5% position. You can see, so now we're down 2.767%, so we were down 4%. So just with that 1.5% position, still quite a small position. It does get you back. Obviously still in drawdown, but from 4% to 2.6, not too bad. Hopefully a few more winning positions with good risk reward, and it will prove that, you know, having good risk reward and even a 50 or 60% win rate, 55% win rate, you're going to be able to be in a profitable position even with taking a few losses. So first win of the challenge. So the start of the week, it's looking fantastic. Swiss Japanese yen's looking absolutely perfect for an opportunity. So if we get that, I'll be sure to show you.
Okay guys, just entered short on Swiss JPY.
We sold off. Stock was safely above the 0.618. So we've sold off to about 0.2% up, so still very early into this position. Daily's looking to close in the next couple of hours, targeting these lows for 3%. So what I'd like to see happen now is we have broken below this low. So obviously I'd just like to see it continuing selling off to our target. However, we have to be aware that once we've broken a significant area, we made a new low, we could pull back. Still selling off. So yeah, just got to hold tight. There's nothing much we can really do. So here's the pullback that we said was likely to happen once we made this low and broke below this low. Now, the best case scenario is for price to sell off from this area because we're pulling back, retesting the previous low, and then looking for the continuation. Obviously, we won't be re-entering. We're already in this position. Worst case scenario is we come up and we don't get the sellers and the continuation to the downside, and we end up getting stopped out for break even. But okay, we've continued to sell off, rejecting this area. Again, long way, about halfway to the take profit, probably about 1.2, 1.3% up.
So guys, morning, it's the next morning. Asia's done its thing. Let me take you to the charts and show you the outcome of that position.
Just hit full target, or the price hit full target. Good trade, beautiful trade overall, good risk reward. Everything we said we predicted.
With that position, because of the good risk reward, being in drawdown, as a lot of you know, we've been in drawdown for quite a while on this challenge. We took a few losses at the start. With the couple of winners we've had, back-to-back winners with this position and the last position, we're pretty much back at break even.
2.3k there and 0.63% now in drawdown, which is pretty much out of drawdown after that 2.3% position. Last two trades are about 1.8%, sorry, 3.8%. So not bad. That's why risk reward's massively important. But yeah, we're slowly coming out of the drawdown.
So these are huge milestones and learning curves in my own journey, because I know from the last 6 months, in this drawdown period that I've been in, that I've been documenting on this channel, I would have looked to change things, would have thought this strategy doesn't work. And again, it's still very early days. It's only 2 winners back to back, but the power of risk reward and the power of just having 2 winners in a row, the 1.4k and that, whatever that position was, overall I think it's around 3.8% with 2 positions. That pretty much is nearly 4%. So that's nearly 4 losses in a row, because I risk 1% per trade, gone with 2 winning positions. So February's come to an end and it's the first trading week of March. Fantastic opportunity on US dollar, Japanese yen.
Okay guys, just entered a long on US dollar, Japanese yen.
Okay, so we're approaching target. So I've obviously got to be careful at these highs, as I mentioned, because we could quite easily reject. I'm going to see what happens on the hourly. If the hourly breaks above and closes, we've got more confirmation that we're going to make a new higher high. If we reject, then I'm going to be looking for a way to get out of this position, because again, we're not going with the overall trend, we're going against trend. We're running about just under 1%, no, about 1%. So yeah, I'm going to be cautious, I'm going to be wary and make sure that I can manage this position and get out when necessary. I've just moved stop to break even because we're running at 1%, or we were at the peak. Yeah, we're running at 1%. So I've moved stop to break even, that's my management plan. Okay, so we've got to be careful now because we're breaking above these highs. We could reject. So if we break and close with the 5 minute above, then I'll probably look for the continuation move to the full target. So guys, I just manually closed it for 1.5%. The overall target was about 1.7%. So for literally 0.2%, I thought take 1.5%. But a good position, 1.5%. Good trade.
Good start to March. I'm also going to show you a pound trade that I took last week that I forgot to record. It was
negative 1% on pound US dollar. It's about 0.9%, about $900. Overall, this week and last week, we're up about 3%. At the FTMO dashboard, we can see the equity curve. We're in slight bit of profit now, completely out of drawdown. Last video, we were in a slight bit of drawdown, but we're completely out of drawdown now, which is fantastic. We've had that 1.5% winner today, which you would have seen. And again, last week we had 1.4%. So overall, the last 1, 2, 3 trades have been good size, 1.5, 1.5, 2.3. And obviously that one loss is 0.9%. So overall, we're managing our risk reward fantastically, our risk fantastically. Yeah, we'll keep going, keep improving, but we're looking good. Been very slow, I've said this millions of times, but still not bad results. January 1.5%, February 1.3%, and March currently with that trade that I took today 1.5%. This is obviously subject to change. It could go up, it could go down. Slow but consistent. It's definitely a lot better than last year when we're having the -3%, -4% months. So we're improving. Okay guys, so just entered a short on pound New Zealand dollar. As you can see, this is a swing trading entry, so we're overextended to the upside multiple days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Decelerated yesterday with a doji. So instead of waiting for what I usually look for is a breakdown, retest, and then look to enter short here on the trend change, we've developed a new model, swing trading entry model, where you enter below the day's low and stop above the high. So the stop's a bit bigger, and this just allows you to capture the move the day before, because effectively what I'm looking for to happen is a breakdown to occur, then I'll expect the pullback for my usual entry, and then the continuation. Risk reward 2.45 to 1, stops above the high. So we can see the momentum coming in, which is what we want to see, because we're getting in just on the breakdown just before this momentum. It could just fail and we could get stopped out. It's still very early into the position. Guys, so daily's closed, as you can see. Nice daily close. So this is where I'd usually be looking for entering my normal strategy. Because we got in on the swing trading entry, which is the entry just below this level, we're looking to play this momentum to the downside. So if we do get a pullback entry, I can look to enter my normal strategy. If we don't, I'm obviously still in this position. Stop slightly bigger than before, above the whole high of the day. Playing this pullback move back down to the daily 20s. Nice swing trading entry. Let's see if we can get the momentum to continue. Morning guys, it's just before 6, just before London Open. We broke down nicely, so again, this is where I'd usually be looking for pullback moves for the continuation. Hey guys, just entered a short, day trading short on pound Australian dollar, so it's similar to my swing position on pound New Zealand dollar, except I'm entered on my day trading entry. So I'm exposed to 2% on pound at the minute. Pound Australian dollar and pound New Zealand dollar are quite heavily correlated. But because I wasn't able to enter on the day trading entry, I've entered one day trading entry here, which will be targeted the 4-hour 50, and then that'll be managed as a day trade, and this trade's going to be managed as a swing trade. Okay, so currently we're getting the continuation of the sell-off. We'll see how we get how price reacts when we break past these lows. Obviously, again, this is just a pullback move. Look, multiple days to the upside. We're looking for a pullback, so this is going to be a quick play. I'm going to be managing aggressively at these lows because we know it can reverse relatively quickly. With regards to the other position, that's selling off quite nicely as well at the minute. So, yeah, we've just got to manage this. Still full risk on the table. It's not over yet, very early into the trade, and I'll keep you updated. New York's about to open in about 13 minutes. We're going to see what's going to happen. Struggling to break these lows, but not a massive concern. It's just volatility at the minute. Still looking quite nice with the lower high. Looking to continue for the lower low. Hopefully we can get the continued sell-off and push us nicely in our favour.
It's so important that you focus on trading the strategy, not the balance. There's so many times I see a lot of people, and I've done it myself, where you're looking at the account balance. Oh, I'm running 1% profit up. I'm running 1.5% up. Let's just take profit off the table with no logical, technical reason for executing that, exiting the trade. And that's purely running on emotion. When you're seeing money running and floating in profit and you want to take the profit, if there's no technical reason to do so, you shouldn't be doing it, because that's going to affect your edge long term. It could pull back and stop me out for a loss. It could go on to hit full target. I have my target for a reason and my management plan for a reason, to give it the best chance to allow it to play out to my target. But if I trade solely off the balance and trade solely off how I feel, because I feel good that I'm up 1%, I'm up 1.5%, or whatever the running P&L is, that's where you can make bad decisions long term, and it can affect your overall performance long term. So for me, it's massively important to stick with my management plan despite the outcome.
Okay guys, so the 10 o'clock candle's closed, the daily candle's closed. Not the nicest close, doesn't mean it's not going to continue to the downside. With pound New Zealand dollar though, because it's the swing trading entry, because the daily's closed like this, the way we manage this is stop above this high, because if price comes up and doesn't breach this high and continues to sell off, then it's likely to continue. Guys, update on the positions. As you can see, stopped out of this one for 0.9%, or pretty much 1%, and that means I'm stopped out of this one for a break even. So when we look at the account, guys, after those two positions, only slight drawdown, which is actually nice considering we would have been risking 2% on the two positions, 1% each, and because we managed to manage it correctly, we've now had you have to look at the potential reward, and the potential reward with the limited risk was fantastic. Potentially 4%, 3.7%, something like that. So yeah, we took the loss here, but still, look how much we're managing the risk. This is what we should be doing. We're managing the risk correctly, and when the winners are coming through, these are small winners, and it was making a big difference. So we're managing the risk. Only slight negative now after those 2 positions, but yeah, we're on our way still. A couple of good winning positions, and we're going to be in substantial profit. So let's keep going.
So we could have a possible entry on US dollar Swiss right now.
So I've entered long on US dollar Swiss. Like the way we spiked down, rejected, and now we're getting the bullish momentum towards the upside. Ideally, we want to break above these highs, break and close, and push on to make a new higher high. Breaking above this high. Again, still very early into the position. Failed to break the high, which is obviously a slight concern considering this is a pullback move. But we have to allow the trade to play out. We could still reject these levels, still make a higher low, and continue to make the higher high. 2 things are either going to happen. We're either going to reject this area, come back down, this is going to hold, and then we're going to make a new higher high, and we'll continue up to target, or it'll just completely fail and we'll get stopped out. But that's why we have our risk management as we do.
Euro Australian dollar is looking absolutely fantastic. When I talk about pullback moves, this is textbook. Let me show you.
I'm awaiting an entry short on Euro AUD. As you can see, look at this. This is a perfect example of an overextended move. Multiple days going up in one direction. Bearish engulfing, suggesting bearish momentum coming into the market. We broke down the lower time frames on the 1 hour, lower low, lower high, looking for the continuation. I'll just be awaiting a breakdown on the 5-minute, break below this level, and we'll be in short. Break and close back below the 1 hour 50. Obviously, it's dependent on how this 5-minute candle closes, or we've got 3 minutes till the hourly close. If we can get a breakdown and close below that, then I'll look to enter.
So guys, we've just entered short on Euro AUD.
So US dollar Swiss looks to be breaking out from this high, but again, we don't know what's going to happen. If we can break and close with the hourly, it's still very early, still got 45 minutes above this high, then it gives us more of confidence that we're going to continue to the upside. Euro Australian dollar sold off a little bit, but still roaming around break even.
So guys, it's nearly 9 o'clock, which is when the market closes at the minute. The daily candle closes. I've moved my stops away so we don't get stopped out with the spread. So I'll move them back once it's settled. Gonna go to bed, wake up tomorrow and see what's happened during Asia. Still 2% risk running. We couldn't manage any of the positions. But in the morning, we'll see what's happened over Asia and I'll let you know. We'll either be stopped out for 2%, that's the risk. I like the positions. Or we would have hit profit target or be roaming in profit. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated in the morning.
Before half past, or just before London Open, we're at these lows, so I'm going to manage this quite aggressively because it's a pullback move and we could quite easily reverse at these lows. And US dollar Swiss, again, we've got to manage this quite aggressively as well because it's a pullback move and we're coming up to the 4 hour 50, but it's running nicely in profit.
So I've got to make a decision just before London Open how I'm going to exit this position. I'm tempted to exit at these lows when we're rejecting these lows because, as I'm aware, and as you guys will know, this pullback moves. We're not going with the overall trend, so these can reverse extremely quick. And we're running about 1.8% at the minute, or 1.6% on Euro AUD. Euro dollar Swiss is slightly break even, like 0.2% up. So I've got to make a decision, and I'm going to weigh up the options and make the decision.
Okay guys, decided to close this position down at this low because, as we've seen multiple times from my pullback moves, this could go on to hit full target, or the initial target, the 4 hour 50, but we're still banking a 1.64% position, a little bit more, and we're at this low. So because it's a reversal move, this could quite easily reverse from this level. We've got to be very cautious. If it's a trend continuation move, it's different. I also closed US dollar Swiss down for about 0.2%. So when we go to the FTMO dashboard and we scroll down, you can see the 2.1% position. That was both of the trades. Let me show you. The 1.8% on Euro AUD, and then obviously I closed for 0.2% on US dollar Swiss. So now currently on the account, up 1.49%. So if you look at the graph, this is a nice looking graph in terms of higher highs, higher lows. It's a slow trajectory, but the winners are bigger than the losses. We still have losing periods, but the winners are substantially bigger. So if we can continue making, in some ways, higher highs, higher lows with this curve, I'm going to encounter losses. But if the winners are bigger than the losses, as you can see, you know, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, the winners are substantially bigger than the losses. So we're doing okay. Average RR is 1.71. Average loss is very low as well. So yeah, everything's looking good. Just got to keep taking the trades, and over time we should be able to get to the 10% and pass phase 1.
Let's hope this winning run continues. There's lots of opportunity, potential trade on S&P 500. I don't usually trade that, but it's looking phenomenal. So if we get an entry, I'll let you know.
So guys, just entered a long on S&P, clearly overextended, looking for a quick pullback move very early into the position. But yeah, we're moving. Nothing really to update on except you have just moved slightly into profit. But again, very early into the trade. We'll have to see how we react at these highs. Initial target is going to be, or soft target is going to be the 4-hour 50. Depending on how we react to that, I'll look to either get out. If we get a lot of bullish momentum, we break straight through. Longer term target is the 20 EMA. Currently sat at these highs. Obviously got to be careful to see how price reacts at these highs. It'd be nice if we get a clean break and close above the high, then look for the retest, and then if we continue. Okay, so prices broke out. If we break and close the next 15 minutes above this high, obviously that's good confirmation that we're going to continue. Have to be aware that we're hitting the 4-hour 50, which is the first initial target. But I've moved stops to break even because we're running just about 1%, 1.2%. So stops are break even. This rejects, I'll look to take some profit. This is obviously where you've got to be aware of all different possibilities, because I'm very much aware that we've hit the soft target and we could quite easily just sell off from here and continue in the overall downward trend on the daily. I'm looking at what price action is telling me. So if we can get a continuation, pullback, and keep making higher highs, higher lows, that would look fantastic. Okay, so we've rejected this high, which is what we wanted to see, and now we've continued on. Now, again, got to be cautious of this 4-hour 50 because we've hit the soft target. We're running about 1.5%. Okay guys, so I just decided to close this position down. As it's a pullback move, we've hit the soft target, I've got to be aware. I banked 1.4%, about $1,400 on this position, so it's enough risk reward to warrant a close. Okay guys, so after that position closed, resulted in just under 1.4% profit. Currently sat at 2.88%, so nearly 3% up. So just around about 7% to go, which is still quite a way, but again, a couple of good trades, trend continuation moves or good risk reward trades, we're going to get there. Slow and steady, consistent. Look at the consistent growth so far. Let me show you that position jotted down, 1.4% as you can see, S&P. So as you can see for March so far, 3.9%, 6 trades, 2 break-evens, 1 loss, 3 wins. 3.9% for the year so far. These are the results. So we're getting more consistent. Very, very much improved from last year. 3.9% so far. Again, this is subject to change because the month isn't over. But so far, looking quite nice. We're improving as a trader. We're a lot more consistent. And it's been fantastic to show you guys my improvement. It's like, I'm not saying these results are extremely good. There's a lot of people with a lot better results. But for someone who is improving, is trying to get even more consistent, especially after last year, they're not bad. You know, if you have a large account and you can scale that, that's around 7% return. If I have, you know, for this year, if I had a 100k account, that's 7 grand for this year. If I had 200k account, that's 14,000 already for the year in 3 months. To have a 7% return isn't amazing. And again, I'm not claiming I'm some expert. I'm documenting and showing everything in front of you. You know, showing my lessons, showing my improvements. But they're not too bad results and they're consistent. And that's what I want to show. Just one of those things that didn't play out. So yeah, that's the only trade I've took this week. I'm still up 1.7%. So we're still up on the account. I've entered short. I entered short a few hours ago. I was out at the time, so I didn't get the actual recording. I've got the brokerage of me entering the trade, but I haven't shown you on here yet. So yeah, this is the entry.
So guys, Euro Swiss is running nicely. We've just broken the low. Let me show you how it's running at the minute.
So guys, running quite nice profit, around 2%. Full target's about 4%. It says 3.75, but on MetaTrader it's slightly more, about $4,000, which is about 4% of the account. I've got in wait because we could pull back. We've made the new lower low. So we'd be looking for a lower high, and then continuation down to target.
So guys, price is just pulling back now to that previous low that I just mentioned.
Guys, so daily's closed. So a couple of options. I'm going to be moved to break even. So if we break back above the 1-hour 50 and 4-hour 50, obviously the deeming that this trend would have changed, and we'll be stopped out for break even.
So guys, price did in fact pull back. We've just been stopped out for a slight profit of 0.2%. I also took a trade on US dollar CAD. I wasn't able to film it because by the time I executed and got back home and was able to film it, it stopped me out for break even.
And we ended up moving into our direction nicely initially.
And at this point, like I mentioned with the management, we're running at 1.6%. So I ended up break even in the position, and price just come back and stopped me out for break even. Okay, so when we look at the account, we can see we're currently sat at about 2% profit, 1.98%. One thing I'm going to bring up in another video, but I've just thought about it, is potentially, and this isn't certain, but potentially upping my risk to 2%, which is just going to help me get there quicker. I've got to endure, if I have drawdown, it's going to be more pressure because it's going to be doubled. But on positions, I might be able to get there quicker. It's just a thought. It's potentially something that I'll think about, maybe upping it to 2%. And, you know, my biggest drawdown was 4%, which would have been 8% with the 2% risk. So I still would have the account. And because we're in 2% profit at the minute, it's given me an extra position in a way. The journal, again, like I mentioned, about 0.7% return, negative 0.7%. No winners this month, which was surprising. So to manage and not have a 3% negative 3% month is testament to my management plan. You can see about 6% profit so far for the year. Again, by no means is this fantastic. It's just me getting consistent and improving. I mean, rather than taking a lot of negative 4, 5, 6% months, I'm around break even, and hopefully May will be fantastic and we can have, you know, a 4 or 5% month.
Okay guys, pound JPY looking nice for a setup. Just got to wait for it to pull back. If I get an entry, I'll let you guys know.
I was looking at potential longs. I like the daily, higher high, looking for the higher low. I like the 1 hour and 4 hour time frame. So yeah, looking to enter this trade. We're moving. Again, it's very early into the trade. So if this does go on to hit full TP, it will pass my account.
So I've increased the risk on this particular position to about 2.5 to 3%. I'm trading this challenge for quite a while. I've got data on my strategy and obviously know that my accuracy this year has been good. So yeah, I've increased the risk. That's why if this trade hits TP, it should hit the 10%, which will be past phase 1.
So we're currently running nicely, stops at break even. So we're going to manage this. We could pull back, but we've got to manage this accordingly to our plan. Risk free. Hopefully it just goes to target and that'll pass the account. Price is still moving nicely. We're obviously slowing down a little bit, hoping to push to full target. Running about 6.5k, so not too bad. Everything's looking okay. We have to be aware of a potential pullback because we've been going up for multiple hours. In that case, you just got to stay strong, keep your discipline and manage according to your plan, not the balance.
Okay, so price has pulled back. Management plan, break back below the 1 hour 50, because if we break back below the 1 hour 50, it deems that the overall trend has failed. And that means that we want to be getting out. So we should be able to bank at least 3,000. Keep you guys updated on the position.
Sold off. It is just a pullback. What I'm hoping to see and what I wanted to see. If we come back to the 1 hour 50, get some rejections and get some bullish momentum to make another higher high, that would be nice. If we break back below, then I'll look to exit the position. It's going to be interesting the next few hours. Are we going to reject the 1 hour 50 and continue up, or are we just going to sell off?
We've come back to this key level. We've now started to get the bullish momentum coming, which is nice. Again, doesn't mean it's going to continue, but it's all looking the best possible scenario. What we want to see now, what I'd love to see is now a break of this high, making a new higher high, and then we can start managing it aggressively and seeing if we can hit this profit target. But it's nice to see the break, you know, back above, bullish momentum coming in. So hopefully we can get this continuation and we can hit the target and we would pass the account.
Guys, we are so close to hitting TP. We're a couple of pips away. We're so close to pass phase 1. This could be incredible. If we pass, oh my God, it'd be amazing. So we're close. If we hit it, I'll let you guys know. Guys, we did it. It's hit TP. Crazy. I've been documenting this journey for the last however many months. This account started in October and we've hit it. I said I'll document everything on this channel, the wins, the losses throughout drawdown, and it's nice to make a video where it's positive. We passed phase 1. We have passed phase 1. Incredible.
This was an absolute textbook setup from the entry, 0.382, 1 hour 50, the continuation of the higher highs, higher lows, our management plan, moving our stop below this level. You know, we never broke back down below the low or the 1 hour 50, so we managed it effectively. But yeah, that's it. That's 10% hit. I'll show you the dashboard. We've passed phase 1, which has been a long time coming. But yeah, fantastic position. So you can see the account. Here we go. Passed. Ended 29th of May. Let's go to the metrics. So this was obviously the account I've been documenting on this channel. That beautiful trade. So yeah, this is it. Like, we've passed. I can't believe it. It's crazy from the start. Everything 10%. Everything's passed. It's incredible. I want to say firstly as well, thanks to everyone that supported this channel, this series. You know, if you're getting value, make sure you like, comment, subscribing. Like, I've been real from the start. We started off. Look, do you remember this? If some of you guys would, in October with 4 losses in a row, and I said in 2025 I'm going to turn it around, and we have. The 2025 has been an incredible start. You know, February, we've had just consistent growth. Then we had a couple of losses, and then obviously I decided to increase the risk based on my strike rate this year, and it played out. I mean, 10%. So yeah, we've hit it. It's incredible. If we go to the accounts, we're on the verification now. I haven't took any trades, but you can see here start verification, and we're going to be looking and documenting, trying to pass this. So for May, guys, the only losses that I took, which I'll show you, was Euro AUD 1%. And Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, 1%. This is what passed the funded account.
So yeah, guys, very happy to be making this video. I mean, I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown me over the last how many months of me documenting it. It's been a long time coming, and nice to show a video of me actually progressing. The whole point of this channel was to be honest, document everything live in front of you guys. And to pass phase 1, still a long way to go. You can't get ahead of yourself. It's only phase 1. Still got the verification, still got to remain consistent and disciplined, and there's a long way to go. I mean, but it's exciting. This is why I wanted to set up this channel, because we've got so many things we can show, you know, when I pass the verification, when I get a payout, even if we go backwards and lose an account, I can show it all. But yeah, it's a good feeling to be in this position now that, you know, all the hard work slowly pays off. And yeah, I've been doing it from the start. I've shown every position, every trade, even throughout the losing periods. So yeah, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate the support. I hope you guys like this video. And yeah, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me over the time.